You are listening to DropTent Media Network.
Just hit record and out. See, welcome to the cast. We're recording.
Yeah.
Welcome
to the cast.
There's a lot of prep here. There's a lot of work that goes behind these episodes.
Yeah. You got to build that whole background.
Absolutely, dude. How you been, man? How's everything going?
I've been all right. Fucking, stuck inside like everyone else, not doing shit.
Where are you? Are you just
I'm still in Philly. I got like another 10 days on my lease here, and then I'm going to New York.
Oh, for real?
Moving there.
Yeah, I already have a place there, but I'll be officially out of Philly. Yeah. And then
what an interesting time to move to New York.
I know.
Is rent cheaper there, or do you don't have to pay?
Rent is cheaper there than it is here. I'm just living in a hallway with Shane and Tommy Pope. So
are you nervous about moving your furniture from outside? Corona's gonna hop on it while you're moving it? Dude,
I gotta figure that out. I'm thinking there's a piece of me that's just I'm gonna go just stay at my parents' place or something. I don't know. I'm nervous about being in New York.
Yeah.
Even though I feel I guess it's sort of subsiding now, right? It's coming down.
Who knows, dude?
Yeah. I think in 5 years you should be able to do spots again.
Yeah. I think it does feel like stand-up's dead forever.
Yeah, dude, I've been starting to feel that heavy. It's
just I don't know what's gonna. I don't know. It could be I don't know. That's probably a little dramatic. I guess everything people get over shit. People flew after 9/11.
Yeah, we'd be all right.
Yeah. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how quickly people just adjust.
Yeah, I wonder how long the in-between phase is going to go, because I keep hearing people talk about how they're going to do the social distance shows where it's a few tables in between people, shit like that.
That should be interesting. Two people just really far away from. That seems just so awkward too.
Oh, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. I heard someone. What were you saying?
I was going to say the point. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just going. That's what I hate.
The Zoom face off. Yeah.
I yield, dude. I yield.
No, I heard someone talking about going and they were going to go do some guest spots on a show like that. I guess Arizona's, there's a club in Arizona that I think is open, and they're going to do, it's I guess the place is a 400 seat theater. And they're going to have 75 people there, all 6 or 7 feet apart. It's just in masks, gloves. It's it's going to fucking.
Dude, can you imagine just a bunch of a room full of people with just masks on? And you can't, and if they even sometimes you can see people smiling. That kind of makes me feel a little bit okay on stage. You don't get that at all. You bomb, you just have eyes staring at you.
Yeah, if you crush it, if you see everyone's eyes wrinkle a little bit.
To see people moving, I don't know. It'll be it'll feel weird. I feel it'll feel like one of those things where if you're playing I don't know, you're playing NBA 2K and then you change everyone to doctors or something like that. There's some fucking dude. Whatever that is, plug-in or whatever. It's you just switch. I'm in a video game and I switch the audience to nurses.
I heard
fucking weird.
I heard Soldiers or something like that. We're thinking about doing a drive-in show, which I feel that's almost worse than Zoom.
I think I mean
yeah. What do you mean? That'd be sick though if you had a play you did it with you all stayed in your car. Even when you went to go perform, you just drove up, parked, and they took
hang out the window.
Part of the kind of started moving your car back and forth, so it's just you were doing a little stage presence.
Yeah, the thing I like about clubs or just regular venues is that it's really hard to get a hand job while you're watching someone. That's the biggest thing I like about it.
That would be wild to get a hand job watching just a stand up at a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah, you're about to bust. You're I guess dating is weird.
It's a mistake. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's got to be the drive-in idea has got to be terrible. I mean, who would? I can't think of anything worse than doing a comedy show where everyone's in their own soundproof room. Fucking 2-liter Coke.
I didn't have time to get a glass. All right, I did. I just didn't feel like it. I'll be honest with you.
Is that warm or is that right out of the fridge?
It's kind of warm. It's just been sitting in my garage for God knows how long, dude. I'm not living my best life.
I know. I thought I was doing bad. It's nice to see you.
In garage temp?
Yeah, it's garage temperature. So it's a little bit below or above room temperature. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Somehow garages are always muggy. Yeah.
Yeah. Super muggy in here. I think I'm slowly giving myself some sort of lung thing. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, you got like that oil stain in the middle of the concrete that's like
I seriously do. Yeah.
Drying. It's like a weird incense.
Yeah, it's got a nice tint to it. I do like it. That's, like oil smells nice. Like gasoline. I don't know why.
It does.
It's like got a nice it's bad for you. Like definitely don't breathe it. But when you smell it, you're like, it smells nice.
Yeah, it smells. Yeah, I don't. It's weird because it's not like propane. Like propane smells like shit.
Yeah, that sounds like
bad.
Yeah, it smells bad, and also I'm like that seems like an explosion any minute.
Yeah, gasoline smells like. I feel like I could spend more time with this if I wasn't getting a headache. Yeah,
right.
To me, like garages, basements, and old ladies all smell the same.
Really? How many old ladies are you going around?
It's just like it's just that mothball smell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nah, but I think that also just like happens. Like I don't know, my parents like started smelling like that when I was in college, and like they don't have mothballs.
Wait, maybe was that because
I think it is just like
back and forth from school? Maybe like you were like maybe you smelled like mothballs too, and you didn't realize it. And then you went to school, shook off that smell, came back. You're like, what the fuck's my parents smell like mothballs for?
Oh, it's kind of like
I'm like certain. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Oh no, I was just thinking of like how like your friend's house always has like a certain smell.
Yeah.
But
I'm certain that my family smelled like wet dogs for sure. I mean, like we just had like a smelly dog in the house all the time, and it's just like I'm sure my house smelled like shit, but it didn't smell like mothballs. There's like a very specific old person smell.
Did they get did they hit an age where they're like, all right, we got all these moths we gotta finally take care of?
I don't know. I guess like they were like in their 50s. And then it was just like I came home. It was literally like I'd been coming home, obviously. Like this was like late in college. It was like my senior year. Then I walked in the door once and I was just like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I think their skin just starts rotting. And I think that's what it is. I think they're decomposing.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to chalk it up to anything else. They have to be they have to be secreting some type of life fluid.
That's so weird that
smell.
It's so weird that that's a thing that happens. It's like
it's like you get this leaving your body. Yeah.
Well, have you ever gotten sick after something important?
Wait, what do you mean important?
I always notice like if I had something really important to do, I didn't get sick, and then after that happened, my body was like, "All right, let's chill," and then like my body will let me get sick. So I think it might be that. Like when you went to college, they're like, "All right, let's decompose."
Yeah, they were like, there's an empty nest thing, and they're like, all right, I guess we can just slowly start to die. We can let our skin sag.
So I'm basically keeping my mom alive by living at her house. So she should be She shouldn't be bitching. I'm like, I'm the reason why you haven't started smelling like shit yet. You're welcome.
Yeah. If you take a long walk one day and come back and it smells, you're gonna be like, oh
I'm
no.
like, fuck, I was gone for too long. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah, dude. And you staying, it's just like a weird like Botox almost. Like you're keeping that shit tight. It's like, yo, Mom, you want that fucking ass tight?
Yeah, that's what I say to her.
Yeah, fucking take it easy on this rent, you bitch.
Yeah, it's probably the smell of just like a dumb man in the house keeps her like full of youth and vigor.
Yeah, for sure, because she knows she has to like stay on it.
Right.
Yeah, that's science, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a paper there somewhere
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Someone's
covering
written a
that
book.
shit. Yeah. It's in the
Damn.
journal Nature.
Who's the one who's always talking about Sigmund Freud? Is he the one that says like all dudes want to bang their mom? He probably read something about that too.
I think so.
He
I don't know
probably-
where that started, right? That's Oedipus. That's like a Greek thing, right?
Oh yeah, well that's the Oedipus complex, right? That's
Yeah.
like the idea of, and they have the whole story about the one dude who they went to go leave the baby, right? They leave the baby and it ends up coming back and fucking his mom anyway.
I don't know. I never read any of the books. I only know that Oedipus wanted to fuck his mom and I think cut his dad's eyes out or something.
That's how you do it.
It seems like incest was very like Family Guy throughout history. Like it was cool at first, and then like it kept going, and then people didn't like it, and then it just kept staying persistent, and now it's in again.
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
coming
back
back.
in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess all the porn, someone's watching it.
Yeah.
I watch it.
Yeah, I watch it. Everyone watches it. It's
Yeah.
because it is like to me it has nothing to do with wanting to fuck a
It's a flooded market.
well, well explore that.
I'm saying there's too much of it, and
There's
now it's
too
just
mu-
that's what everyone's making now. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
what all the hot girls are doing.
Oh.
So I'm like, I gotta watch that now.
I thought you were just saying they like ran out of things porn to make, and they were like, well, I guess might as well explore this genre.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
I have a theory too with all the step sibling porn that people aren't even into incest as much as they are divorce. They just think divorce is hot.
Well, I think it's also just like there's no greater like as far as dudes go. There's no better sexual fantasy than being like fucking someone that it's like it's impossible to have any actual relationship with. Like you can't. They're your stepsister. You know what I mean? And they're in your house and they're hot. So it's like you guys just fuck secretly, but you can never date them, and they can never expect that you would date. It's like. It's the perfect mix of things where it's like
it is
society
like
would kill us if we were to ever date, but we can fuck in the house while the parents are away.
It's basically porn's version of Romeo and Juliet.
right.
That,
Walk me through that.
Yeah, you're rich.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
You say it, you found it. I had something there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're my stepbrother is like their version of but you're poor.
Well, did you ever see the ones where he's like they come in them, they're like, you said you weren't gonna come in me, and then like they videotape like there's like a baby in there. They went through with the porn for whatever the backstory.
Really?
Yeah, there's like, oh, now I got this baby. So I guess maybe they rented a baby, or maybe she like just had a baby already.
So wait, they just smash cut. They just smash cut to having
this
a
girl.
baby?
This girl just like with a baby, like, now I got this baby.
Oh, dude,
I've never
I would.
seen that before. I almost don't even believe that exists.
I
You gotta
swear to
send
God,
me a
dude.
link to that.
I can find it. It was so long. It was so long ago. There's so much porn on top of it, dude. I don't know
Dude,
where I'll find it, but I'll search for it.
they need way more videos of like the aftermath. Like step bro goes to step sister's ultrasound.
yeah. It has to pretend like he doesn't know what happened.
It's like, so porn just turns into like series. So you just keep watching. You're like, at some point in this episode, I will be able to jerk off because they're going to do full penetration in this episode. But they just go into real depth. Like, that'd be sick, dude.
I like that. I like when it's like it's a long one and there's like multiple sessions in it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're
Yeah,
like
because I can come back to it. I'm like, oh, dude, the plot thickens, dude.
yeah. I loved what they did in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was art.
Yeah, let's see what happens in the bedroom.
Ooh.
Yeah, do you ever?
me and Rob both did that. The perfect.
Yeah, I wind up like doing a lot of like when there's like an old porn like that you're
Quite
you ever-
fond of.
yeah, but it's like but when you watched it was still sort of like behind the paywall thing where it's like it's like an hour long thing, but you only saw 10 minutes and it was like just like a highlight reel.
Right. Yeah.
And
Are
then
you talking
you're like,
about, like-
I wonder if that's out now. I wonder if that's like fair use yet.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You know what I'm
seeing
talking
this-
about?
Yeah, dude. When you That's like fucking waking up and it's randomly Christmas all of a sudden, dude. When you're like, no way, I get the like, because they always stop it, and my favorite part is like when they're like, bleh, and so when you're like, finally, like, I get to fucking say it, dude. Awesome.
Dude,
yeah, and I get to experience all the drama. I get to control the parts that I want to watch. Yeah, as opposed to just whatever they gave me.
Yeah, dude. I think I learned how to jerk off quick because of clips.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta come before this ends, dude.
Yeah.
Like, the clip is always like a little bit of the setup, like a little bit of like positions, and then like a millisecond of the cum shot.
Yeah.
It's never the full cum shot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's usually a lot of
never get to see her bask in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotion. It's usually her just maybe sometimes come already on the face, and she's like, "What the fuck?" or something like that. You know. Sometimes they'll cut to like the aftermath, but they don't see that's never.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They do.
Like,
they do.
They like someone like I think one of their dads were punishing them because they were playing too much video games. So they fucked each other's daughters, obviously, as good parents would. You know, you gotta fucking teach them somehow.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm not going to play with this controller anymore. And she just got cum all over her face. And I'm like, what happens in between that?
That's skipping all the good. I thought you meant when it's just like the guy's like, ugh, and then it cuts. And then it's just her like, and you're like,
yeah. It'll have the beginning part like that. And then it'll cut into, and then the last 3 cuts are that. And
I never understand when it's like mostly like, it's mostly just the girl, like I don't know, when they do those like setup shots where it's the girl just like standing there looking hot or like up against the wall, like dancing or something. You're like, get
bit. What are you doing?
Who's watching this? Yeah.
Are you getting paid for this part? Like, what if I dance in the beginning? I'm like, no, that's the fucking like. Let me dance a little bit. All right, whatever, dude. Have some dancing.
I don't need the setup. Just get right to it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking to that like incest part, like especially when it's like a dad daughter or vice versa. It's always like no, but the dad daughter, it's almost always like a punishment kind of thing. It's like you didn't do your homework. Well, now you're gonna fucking blow me, dude. If one of those ends in like a call to DIFUS or something, that would be so sick. It's like, yo, just take my like DIFUS.
Yeah. What is that?
That's the agency for like abused children.
Oh, Jesus.
She's like, yeah, that'd be sick. Like, yeah, he came on me. I think that's abuse, right? For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just tell me I can't go out with my friends, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get into that. I don't like when it. Yeah, I like it more when it.
Dad's just banging her like, you think I like punishing you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. I hate that. That bums me out. I like when the dad's like, I got all these bills or whatever. He's just like dealing with his life, and the girl's like, I'll come and suck your dick, or
sorry,
right. She's into it. Like she's into it, not him. Like you fucking. I'm basically your father. Yeah.
And then with the moms for son, it's usually the son like has an inappropriate boner of some kind, and then the mom's like, well, we have to rectify the issue.
Yeah, I love that.
The mom's always solving some sort of problem.
Yeah, I feel like most chicks look at boners as like something to solve.
It's like a Rubik's. It's a really gross Rubik's cube.
It's like an issue. It's like when the garbage is full.
Yeah.
Like, I got to do a chore now.
Yeah. Or sometimes, some whores love it,
Yeah. But yeah.
You're like, there's no more trash in the trash can. You're like, I got
put some in there. I like taking it out. I just need to take a walk. I just want to get out of the house.
I mean, if they spit, it's trash. If they swallow, it's recycling.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I guess that's that's deep.
Unfortunately, it's true.
It's an important philosophical distinction.
Yeah, dude. I'm doing the work over here.
What have you guys been up to? What the fuck's going on? Are you both you're in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We're in the dirty Jers, dude. Like I've said, I've been just chilling. I'm still partially working, so I get to get out of the house and then like
That's not
once a
bad.
day, which isn't bad. And then just hiding in a garage. It's pretty sweet lifestyle. I love because I have a DUI, so I can't drive anyway. So I was pandemic regardless. So it's nice that everyone's in the same boat as me.
Yeah. I have been inside for a while. Leading up to this, I was just like, I wasn't really doing shit. I would like go to work and stuff, but mostly just like being fucking in my apartment, not doing anything, just being like a sad boy. And then pandemic hit, and it was like,
Great.
fuck.
Now I got to keep doing it.
now this is mandated. Yeah.
Now I don't have a choice, dude.
Yeah.
That's rough stuff, dude.
So now I'm just watching crazy like YouTube videos. I did go down the thing of like just watching like, you know, checking in with the news and being like, what's going on with all this? And now I'm just out there. I'm watching dudes jump trains. I watch like a feature length YouTube video of a guy he just hopped a train in somewhere in like Ukraine or something and rode it to like the Baltic.
Damn.
And I watched the
pretty
whole
sick.
thing. It was fucking awesome.
Did he do it for that's how he travels? Or
That's just what this guy does. He like made a YouTube channel where he just climbs shit and then or like he'll get in touch. Like he's big enough now where people get in touch with him and be like, hey, we found this like secret bunker like in like Lithuania. Come like check it out. And then he'll climb through like pipes down into like an old bunker that was built in the 70s for like a nuclear event where it's still full of like food and gas masks and like tools and like generators and water and shit. Yeah. And he'll just like
That's
walk
wild.
around in there with people. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Or he'll just he's like
the Steve Irwin of climbing. He's like the Steve Irwin of climbing. He does a bunch of crazy shit with climbing.
Yeah. He's like the Steve Irwin of like Eastern European like detritus.
Okay.
He like goes into like worn out like ex-Soviet shit and just like checks out a town that's like abandoned.
That's wild shit.
And, well, where's he from? Is he European?
He's definitely European. He's got like an accent. He's from like, I think he might be from Lithuania.
Damn.
He's from somewhere in like in Eastern Europe. And yeah, he just like, he spent a long time, like he spent like months, I guess, like just jumping trains, making videos about jumping trains. and then he just started exploring abandoned buildings for a while. And like, it's funny, like sometimes like security will like spot him on the train and they'll like grab him, like they'll like chase him down
Like,
and grab
there
him.
he is.
He'll like shove him off and like sprint into a building. It's like crazy. Fucking crazy.
They just have posters on all the trains like, watch out for this fucking train jumper, dude.
And dude, he like, well, that's the thing. They have like all this like security apparatus to like spot people on trains. You know, like he'll be in just like a coal car, like hiding for a while. And then he'll be like on Google Maps, like seeing if he's like on the right like track, like if it's going to go like west or east or whatever. And then he'll be like, fuck yeah, it's going the right way. It's going the right way. And then he'll look for like upcoming guard towers and like hide. And then he'll get to like a town. He'll get to a town. Like imagine just a dude like being like, oh shit, Philly's coming up. And he'll like get out at Philly and then just like walk into the woods. Like he'll walk out of town like 2 hours. Like he'll get into town at like midnight, walk out of town for like 2 hours, find just like a patch of like woods. He'll like make himself like a little meal, get in his like sleeping bag. He's got like a hammock and a sleeping bag. He'll like sleep there until like 5 or 6 a.m.
Dude,
Then he'll
thank
pass
God.
back up.
Oh, sorry.
It's crazy.
Dude, thank God he was born in this time. Because like, dude, if like that's just what he loves doing, depending on the time period, that could be tragic. Like he's in Germany, he's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking hop on this train. Wrong train.
yeah. Or just any time where there was that people were like a little bit more vicious. You know, what movie was that? I feel like there was like some movie. Was it like what was that fucking movie where that dude goes off and like lives in Alaska? Didn't he like get pulled off a train and then get the shit kicked out of them or something?
I don't know. Never saw it.
I feel like those dudes. I mean, those train people, you know, like they routinely get their asses kicked by like railroad employees, right?
I guess so.
And they just hop on, like everyone. That's like part of like, yeah. One of the things I never thought about this job. Yeah, a lot of people jump on. You just got beat the shit out of these dudes.
Well, it's just like, yeah. I feel they probably view those people as like subhuman.
What happens in that dude's childhood to make him be like, dude, I'm gonna become like a video game basically, and my thing is the objective is just to hop on a train, go somewhere, and chill out, and then take a train back or some shit.
That would be a sick VR game.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, I'm gonna tell you, when you're in quarantine and you're watching a dude just like jump trains, you're like, maybe I should do this for a little bit.
Right. Like
I'm social distancing.
Yeah.
I do miss like the idea of hopping on a train and then starting over again. Because like back then in a town, if they were like, yo, like Chris is trash, you'd be like, all right, I'm hopping on this train. And then I could just like, they won't know. And like, and then those people that I'm going to, they don't know who I am. They're never going to find out. I could just start a new family. No one will ever know.
Yeah. You can still do that.
Yeah, but I feel like with the internet, it's like
they'll track you down.
Yeah.
It's like, now that you have a podcast for sure.
Yeah, they could go on your go on your Facebook and be like, oh dude, everyone just keeps shitting on this dude. He's not funny.
Yeah, what's like the equivalent of like hopping on a train now to just like scrub everything?
I don't know, man.
Deleting your Facebook and moving, I guess it's the same.
Yeah.
That way no one can find you in the new place.
Yeah, you could go. I feel like that's the thing about being like American too. It's like you could just go somewhere. Like you could just go to like, you could probably go to India and just like disappear, or like somewhere in like the South Pacific and disappear, or even just like down south, like Central America, South America. I bet you could just go there and like live on some informal economy. I had a buddy who like went down to, he was in Peru. No, where was he? Ecuador, and just like opened a bar on the beach.
Dude, someone was telling me about doing that. I'm like, that sounds sick.
Yeah.
Like anyone actually did it.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, he signed like a 6-year lease for this place and like built it up and just like went crazy. And like just like he was like partying all the time.
Yeah, is he like alive still?
Yeah.
I would die with like 2 weeks of owning a beach bar.
Dude, yeah. I mean, he said it was crazy. He like at the end of the 6 years, he was faced with the choice to either like re-up the lease or like he was going to head back to the US. And he was just like, I wanted to re-up that lease so bad, but it's just like, I can't do another 6 years of just like Molly and Coke and fucking on the beach. Because it's like they start going out at like 11 p.m. or like 12
right.
And they party until 8 in the morning. You know, it's like,
that's what I've been doing in my garage, and let me tell you, it's been taking its toll, dude. If I do it any longer, I'll fucking die, dude. I need to stop, dude.
There is nothing.
I like the face that hit you at the end.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when you take like something as magical as like a mushroom trip or like doing Molly, and you just like you've done it so many times that you're just like, fuck, I'm just back on this road again.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
This
like,
is the craziest shit I've ever seen, but I've seen it before.
Right. Yeah. It's
and
like I'm over it, dude.
Rote. Yeah.
And I also think
everything will move a little bit. Cool. Dude.
Right.
I'll have a fucking epiphany. Awesome. Whatever.
Yeah. Another epiphany. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. How many do you really need until they're just thoughts?
I also think human beings have this incredible skill of finding a way to be unhappy in every situation.
Yeah, for sure. I could do that so easily.
Yeah,
like all the time.
Like I feel like a lot of people were like, you know what? I kind of need to get away. And like, I wish I worked from home and my friends are annoying. Like, you know what? I just want to just get some alone time. And then, it's classic grass is greener on the other side, dude.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just like part of being human, right? It's like humans we wouldn't have made it where we are if we were just like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, if we were just always content. Yeah, no, You
The
just always
human
have to
story is no matter how good it is, it's just like, fuck this, let's go.
Yeah. And even when I start to think about, like, dude, like, I'm inside, I'm still be able to talk. Like, can you imagine if this was like 5-10 years ago, or I mean, I guess a little bit, like maybe 20 years ago or something like that, when there wasn't this much technology, and like all you had was on TV was the programming that they set up for you and shit. Like, this would be a lot worse. And that still was like, you're still inside a house, so you should be grateful that you're not like just outside getting whatever disease there is. And you just go in this loophole. You're like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to be spoiled. I actually want nicer shit now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. But like, I remember just, I remember as a kid, like I like didn't have any money, but I remember just like not being able to get, like I had the paper route and I had like a bank account. And I remember like you just couldn't get the money if I wanted to buy like Twizzlers or whatever. I would be like, it's Saturday and I didn't go to the bank, so I'm fucked.
Right.
I can't imagine that now. Like just being like, it's crazy that in the 90s, if you didn't take out enough money, you could be like,
you could be really fucked for the weekend.
yeah. It's like, I can't eat today because there's no.
Yeah. What am I gonna write people? Like, you don't write check for water ice. Shit like that.
Yeah, and I would be so fucking pissed. It's like, how much money do these banks need to stay open 7 days a week?
Right. Yeah. Can you just, have a few?
Like, yeah. You short on funds?
Yeah. Back in the day, they probably were, dude. They were whores. I'm actually thinking about starting my own bank.
Yeah.
Because
I wonder if you could.
that unemployment money, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. Dude, I like that is a thought that I sincerely had the other day, and I was like embarrassed about having it. I was like, how hard is it to start a bank?
Yeah. Just get a loan from another bank to start your bank.
Yeah, it's like you just tell all your friends. It's like, give me all of your money, and I'll just give you what you need.
Right. Yeah. Let me hold it first.
Yeah, and then I'll put it somewhere where I make money off. I'll just put it in like a.
That's the first person who invented that's the thought that they had. They're like, yo, give me all your shit. And they're like, why? It's like, I'll hold it for you. And they're like, but why? It's like, just in case you don't have it all, I'll have it all.
Yeah, I feel like they're
come get it from me.
Their argument at first was like, yo, our walls are thicker than yours.
Yeah, totally. It's just like there's one guy in town with like a safe.
Yeah. Like, yo, can I put my shit in there? You can take like 3% of my money if you just hold on to it.
Yeah, because like I'm really weak, and every time I carry money on the street, some guy just takes it.
Survival of the fittest, dude.
Yeah, so I don't want to have all my money on me.
Metal's thicker than pockets, I guess.
That's right,
dude. I do miss just being bored without technology. Yeah, I was thinking of like when I was a kid, like a real thing I would do, because I had like a bedtime, and I was never tired when it was my bedtime. So I would just like stare at a light bulb and then just look away and see spots and chase the spots. That was like my favorite thing, dude.
That's dumber than what cats do with lasers.
Yeah.
I never had I never had anything like that since I could remember.
Yeah, it would make more sense if you were just like rolling out a ball to yourself. And chasing it.
Instead, you were probably causing eye damage.
Yeah. And not in a cool way like Isaac Newton. Like you're trying to like figure something out by staring at the sun.
Yeah.
Just like,
no, you knew that it would blind you.
Chase, yeah.
And you're like, this game's
imaginary
fun, though.
stars. Yeah.
It was like your version of heroin, dude. You're just chasing the dragon.
Did your parents ever see you do that happen? Let you keep doing that?
I think they would just hear like pitter pattering and then just like.
They're like, oh God, Rob's jerking off, but you're just staring at the sun.
Yeah,
they could have stopped you.
And then they would always be like, yo, go the fuck to sleep. And I was like, all right. And then. and then I would just like lay in my bed and like stare at the light, and then I was just in my bed, just like.
Wait, you had the lights on and they didn't turn the lights out?
Dude, what's going on?
A parent is like,
well,
go to bed and doesn't turn the lights out.
Well, I had a little trick. I would get like an extra blanket and put it like in front of the crack on the door.
What?
Yeah. So then I can just have some me time.
So you can have some lights on, dude. Lights on fun.
It's so funny when you're a kid and you think that shit works.
Yeah, there's
Your
just
parents probably open the door and he's doing the fucking
blanket
like
thing
we
again.
don't know. Like
this
light
blanket-
isn't bleeding through all the other cracks in the door.
And not only that, but the blanket's like clearly going out from under the other side.
Right.
And they
Sticking
also
out,
just
they're
hear me going like,
Yeah, dude, parents don't understand.
I do miss that shit. Like I've never. I just miss having first, like the first time sneaking out, like smoking weed. That like rush makes everything better. I haven't had like a true first like that in a while.
Yeah, I guess like all the other firsts right now would be like morally wrong.
Yeah, I mean this is my first quarantine, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, all the firsts are like new lows.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
God,
shit.
man.
That can't be good. That's not a
Never
good
done
sign.
that before. Yeah, I've never pissed and shit myself.
Yeah, separately,
Yeah,
but still in the same pants.
yeah. Hours transpired between these two events.
Like, all right, a little piss never killed anybody. I can still rock this. And then a few hours later, like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
How is this?
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? It's the first time of doing something when you shouldn't be doing it. Because you can piss in your mouth and like no one's really stopping you. It's just like, I mean, fucking do it, I guess.
You don't have to though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I drank some piss before, dude. You watched me.
Oh,
why did you do that?
I don't think there was a reason.
Yeah. You know what I have to say? If there's anyone that I like, if I didn't know you and I just saw a picture of you and someone was like, "You think this guy's drank piss before?"
Yeah.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
It was me, Pete Ackroth. We were just in the cave, the basement of the cave. That's where Pete lives.
Oh yeah. I thought it was Sean Gardini too.
Yeah, Sean Gardini was there too. He's piss boy. We're like, dude, let's try it. Pete's piss looked orange. It looked like orange Gatorade, and I think he should have went to the hospital or something. There's something wrong with his pee.
Damn.
But we just
Yeah,
Every
I
once in a
wonder if
while
he
I
was
get
getting
that.
like piss envy looking at yours.
Nah. I think he was proud of his. He was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Look, this is like the most toxins in one piss."
What did you have like clear piss?
I had pretty clear piss. Not to brag, not to toot my own horn, but I drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
That's
it was
lucky.
clearly
Yeah.
piss.
When the when the room demands that you drink your own pee, it's got to feel good when it comes out clear.
Yeah,
My
you're like,
favorite
good.
part-
I've been preparing for this.
I loved in that interaction because I was just kind of a spectator, and they're like, "Rob, drink yours," and I was like, "I don't know." And then you guys all had the vibe of like, "Really, you idiot?"
Yeah, come on, dude. Everyone's doing it. It worked out though, because later that night, a homeless dude very clearly wanted to start a conversation with us. He was like, "Hey, what'd you guys do tonight?" I'm like, "I just drank my own piss," and he's like, "All right, see you later." So
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you like stumbled upon like a brilliant strategy for dealing with
dude, just
homeless
you out
people.
the crazy person.
Right.
They're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I was just smearing my shit on my own face, and then
Just see how long.
Yeah.
Because either way,
man, you want these quarters?
Yeah, he's either gonna walk away or he's gonna like just let you say that shit to him, which sounds entertaining too. Like, yeah. And I
I
started
mean,
wiping you on my mom. And
it's a high risk, high
Party.
reward game because you could say that, and he's like, "Dude, no
Yeah,
shit,
so-
I just drank my piss. You wanna come to this alley, dude? Yo, I got extra piss if you want some, dude."
yeah, you're right. That is a dangerous game, man. Someone could
Yeah, it's
rebuttal with a heavy one.
It was funny. It's like, your own piss. That's child, dude. You got to drink someone else's. Piss.
Yeah,
It's so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
you're a piss narcissist, dude.
I'm a piss connoisseur. It's like, I can tell what you fucking ate and drank for the past 2 weeks, dude.
He's swishing around. You're like, all right.
Asparagus. A heavy amount of asparagus, for sure.
Yeah, electrolytes, cool.
Yeah, there's a real herbal flavor to this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh man, seeing someone like drink piss out of like a wine glass, a stem or no stem, that's to be determined. I don't know, dude. I'm not in the game.
The wine game?
The wine game or piss game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it's like what's the stem? I think you'd want to know stem.
Oh, because
you want to keep the heat. You want to keep the heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right,
Okay.
The stem is for like cold drinks. I think is for like cold wine. Right? Am I crazy?
That makes
no. You're right. You're right.
That would make sense.
Or at least your hand isn't supposed to be warming it, but body heat is really the like. I bet if there are piss connoisseurs, they really like it fresh out of the.
Well, dude, I don't know. Have you ever seen that
exactly
episode?
98.6.
Yeah, they're probably pretty particular with their piss. You know.
Do you think people would like aged piss?
I mean, piss is already aged stuff. It's already aged liquids. So you aged an aged thing.
I don't know. Yeah, in this crazy world that we've created, like where people enjoy piss and they have specific ideas, I bet they could figure out a way to age it.
Did you see there's an episode of like Nathan For You, and there's like he stumbles onto some dude that's like part of his culture to drink child's piss.
Mm.
I swear, and he like I could even
oh
tell
yes,
the dude on the show,
yes.
Nathan or whatever, was like, wait, what? Like, for real, dude? I think he's like dropped his character for a second. Like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's the episode where he like it's the guy who like runs a gas station, and he's like, this is what you do. You like put the price of the gas as like $1 a gallon, but then there's like an asterisk, and they have to like, in order to get that price, they have to. They have a rebate that they can only redeem if they like hike to the top of this mountain. Right. And then at the end of so they go through this whole fucking rigmarole. Like the whole show, the episode is over.
Yeah, right. Then, at the end, he's just like, wait, what?
And he's talking to the dude about something, and or he's just basically just saying like his goodbyes and like be well. And the dude somehow out of left field is like, yeah, brings up how like child piss is like a health drink.
Yeah, and yeah. Like I don't know how he brings it up. It's weird, but at the last moment, he was like, "Oh yeah, before you leave with your cameras, did you?"
Yeah.
I'm drinking child piss over here, so you might want to. You might want to fucking get some. You might want to start rolling.
I'm on the keto diet.
I'm fasting, intermittent fasting with your boy's piss.
Damn, that show was so good.
Yeah, he does a really good job. I have respect for people that can really like keep a character like that.
Yeah, obviously, and just like sitting in the pocket in a moment like that and not
so
completely
awkward.
Breaking. Yeah,
I cringe. I like it's one of those. I'm a fan of the cringe. Like every time cringe comedy, dude. That's like, oh, dude, it's so impressive. I'm like, how is he not just like laughing or just like getting himself out of that situation? But makes my skin crawl.
Yeah. Especially when it almost feels like someone like in that moment is getting that the TV's a joke, like the show is a joke.
Right.
And he's the guy's like, I get it. This is ridiculous. I'm going to say this ridiculous thing. And to not be like, wait, are you?
Are you? Right. To just stay and be like, no, dude, I'm serious. I can't tell. I can't tell if he's actually serious or not. True.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
No. What do you got? How are you guys keeping busy? What are you guys getting into? Are you exploring any weird parts of your psychology?
Yeah,
now that
dude.
You're by yourself all the time.
Well, I've been having a thing where I've been trying to drink way less in the quarantine, and then drinking way less in addition to having more time alone. I've been realizing just these crazy patterns of thinking that I have, and it's just like so much shit is coming to light, and I'm like, oh, I'm insane, dude.
Yeah. It's a lot of realizing I should just take a second and breathe before I think about responding to people with anger.
Wait, are you getting in fights with people?
No.
No, I always just my initial reaction to when anyone says anything to me is to be furious. I don't. And it's so embarrassing that I try to cover it up. But now I think I've been actually handling things just like immediately, like, oh, let's just be in a positive light about things. It's nice, 'cause I don't feel like rushed anymore. I don't feel like I have to be places. So the psychology is coming, like, it's like settling a little bit. Nature, Cody's healing.
Hell yeah.
Getting more zen.
A little bit, yeah, dude. I got incest and stuff. Incense.
Yeah.
A lot, like,
Incest.
I
I thought you were bringing us back around to the incest porn thing. It's like, yeah,
Nah.
I got incest porn. It's keeping me level.
Got my smart TV. I can play it on the TV in the garage. My neighbors can see it and hear it. It's great.
You have a TV in there?
Oh yeah, dude. I got a TV. I got strobe lights. I got darts. I really outdid myself in here. I'm never leaving.
Dude, you have everything else besides a car.
I have a car. I just can't drive it.
Yeah, you really are like a 90s sitcom character at this point.
Yeah. Well, I was doing a cast last, like a few weeks ago in my car, just, to get a feel of the car. I haven't been in it for a little bit. And
When
my
did
mom
you get
comes
this
out
DUI?
February.
Oh, all right.
I went to jail for fucking 3 days too.
Holy shit.
Which was great, dude. So that also helped me prep for quarantine,
Yeah.
I've said that a million times on this podcast, but I just want to show you how badass I am, dude.
That's wild. What were those 3 days like? I'm sure you've covered this, so fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I am curious.
I'll tell you on the flip side, dude.
What was the other thing you're saying about building your little place there?
Oh, my garage?
Yeah.
My
whatever you were just talking about. I derailed you.
Now
I'm trying to get you back on track.
Yeah. I already talked about that either. Rob, what's up with you, dude? What up? Dude? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Nah, dude, just riding my little bike around, just trying to figure this life shit out before I go back into the real world, dude. I really feel like, because I'm 20, I'm almost 27 at the end of the month, but I like having this time now. I feel like I just pressed like mute on like personal development when I was like 20, and now like I'm dealing with all the shit I kind of like pushed aside when I was 20, and it feels like I'm like cramming for like a test. Like it's just all this shit at once.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn, this is nuts. Because
yeah,
I think
no,
I'm sorry.
I get that. I get that. Like, yeah, there is like the thing about quarantine. Yeah, is it like as corny as it is, as much as people are like, it's fucking hack bullshit to be like, work on yourself. There is a piece where you're just like, oh fuck, I am starting to like, yeah, I'm starting to feel the need to address some things that I've smothered with like drinking and just outdoor activities for the past 10 years.
Just being like, that's just who the fuck I am.
Right.
sorry, whoever that affects, that's your problem.
Right. Well, yeah. It's like, I guess that's just who I am, without having any idea what that even means.
Right.
Just
yeah.
like,
Just be like,
someday
I'll hit my kid if I don't change now. But
Yeah. But
that's their problem.
My favorite thing is like people who find like a identity in taking pride in like their shittiest parts. Like I have like Jewish family, and like they embrace like the whole being neurotic thing, being like crazy, and they're like, listen, we're Jews. And I'm like, you could still change it. Like, do you really like do you like living like this?
Man, I would really like to get the normal brand cereal, but my Jewish self won't let me buy anything by these Cheerio circles.
Yeah, like they're just like, hey, we're fucked up, and like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, some people are too. I mean, like sometimes there's certain things that you're never going to change.
Yeah, like,
and there is something nice about being. There is something really nice about being like, oh well, this is who I am. I think that's the point. It's like you want to figure out the parts that are just like, this is who I am, versus the parts where it's like, I'm just too lazy to fix this.
Right. There's no cure to those parts of you, but there is ways to at least know when it's happening and be able to control a situation, be like, am I being the psycho in this? Maybe I'll not say that instead of saying it. You know, maybe just chill and like try to control situations a little bit better. Or
Well,
just
I guess
fire.
I guess I have more of a gripe with like these simple scapegoats that people have as like a pass to be shitty. Like if some I don't fully subscribe unless you're like in my immediate family, the whole blood is thicker than water thing. Like if a cousin is shitty and they're like, well, we're family, like you got to stick around. I'm like, no, fuck that dude.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
I feel no obligation to like cousins or aunts and shit like that. Like I like them, but the only time where I'm like, you can basically do no wrong is like if it's my sister or my parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Close
the circle
family
is
first.
very tight. Yeah. But yeah, I hate that stuff too. I agree with you, like in the sense that, yeah, if there are people who are like, you know, drunk assholes, and you're like, and they're just like, well, I'm Irish. That's just what I'm doing. And you're like, well,
yeah,
you don't have to be that. Yeah.
Yeah,
there are certain things that you can.
Yeah,
that is definitely a choice at that point. You're like,
yeah.
I feel like it's comforting to like just slip into like an identity at that moment. It's like it might be shitty, but I'm something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, at least I'm not just an alcoholic. I'm also Irish, so
yeah, because that way,
yeah, because if I wasn't Irish, I would be fine. I'd be fine.
Yeah,
but
what I'm doing is right. It's like I'm upholding a tradition. I'm not just out here fucking around.
And I feel like there's something comforting about the language. It's like, listen, like, I'm not Rob, I'm Irish. Like, this isn't Rob doing it to you. This is the Irish.
Right. This is centuries of behavior that I have no control of pouring out of me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just trying to fix my Jewiness.
You feel like you're super Jewish? You don't come off as that Jewish. You look Italian.
Yeah, well, I'm German, Jewish, and French, like Catholic French. So it's but both very hairy people.
What's the Jewy? What do you feel like is your Jewiest quality?
I mean, I have just like the main thing that I've been trying to figure out through this is OCD. Like an anxiety OCD kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is very just like textbook neurotic. Just I went to therapy, and my therapist read me all like the signs and stuff like that of OCD, and I checked off like most of the boxes. And then there was this thing that happened where I started telling my friends, I'm like, hey, I think I have OCD, and almost everyone was like, yeah.
We could have told you that.
Yeah.
I wish I had OCD. I wish I had maybe. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what it's actually like to live with it, but that's the thing is, I just look at it when someone's like, "I got OCD." It's like, oh man, you just like clean. That's awesome.
You're organized.
You have like you have to clean your apartment.
Yeah.
You can't. You won't just live in filth. That's how I interpret.
Well,
you won't get corona. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, the confusing thing is like a few things. First of all, there is like utility to it, so that makes it confusing because you're like, it's actually served me in a lot of ways, even though it sucks.
Yeah.
And then also it manifests in weird ways. Like I just have just cum tissues just chilling everywhere and stuff like that. Like I'm just a pig in this basement, dude. But also at the same time, I'm like, if I don't if I don't work on this joke, my dog's gonna die.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. The cum tissue thing is weird.
Yeah.
I feel like you pick those up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like I'm the only one down here, and it doesn't bother me. So,
okay,
whatever.
Yeah, cum tissues would stress me out. There's something too. I don't know. Having cum tissues everywhere would be like, I don't know. I get stressed out when like I feel like I'm in a movie. You know?
What do you mean?
Well, it's like cum tissues everywhere is such a like trope, like movie trope.
Oh yeah.
That I would be like, Oh my
what am I, a hack,
God.
dude?
Yeah. I'm just like,
Hack trash.
this is a real thing that's happening to me in my life is
I gotta be original. I'm using tinfoil from now on.
yeah. I just come in a tinfoil and then cook it and freebase it.
Yeah, then smoke weed out of it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking tight.
That's
Yeah,
how you
that's
blow.
recycling.
That's how you
Yeah.
blow glass, bro.
Dude, that's a Viking funeral for your unborn kids.
Ugh.
Someone's got to be doing that. I'm surprised that's not a porn genre I've stumbled
That-
across.
That might be a insane clown posse type of thing. It's got an insane clown pop. They're always
Yeah.
inhaling piss and shit or whatever they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
That's
and
Jacob,
judging by their lyrics, they're exhaling shit as well.
Oh, dude, you better not say that.
That's a
Hey.
sick burn.
They're gonna come
like
at
that?
you, dude. They have nothing else to do. They will fucking murder you, dude.
Listen, I'm not the Zoom roast master for nothing, dude.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I get
Dude.
paid the big bucks.
Have you
Yeah.
guys done Zoom roasts?
He did. He won a championship, dude. He's a champion.
Damn.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
dude. Look at me. Thank you.
Have you been doing any Zoom comedy shows
I
yourself?
haven't done any Zoom shows, nor do I really have a desire to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it feels bizarre. It feels like playing pickup basketball through Zoom or something. You're just like, what? How does that?
Yeah,
even-
just like playing pig with somebody
or yeah,
through Zoom. Like this
Yeah,
isn't
it's
really
also-
working out. It does work, but not really. It's not the same.
yeah. There's the being next to the person is everything. Being
Yeah.
in the room is everything.
Is your new open mic kind of just like calling a friend and like bouncing ideas off them?
No, I've been trying to do like my contacts podcast or whatever a lot. So that's like getting ideas out there. But most of I've been working on like an animation. So I've been like doing a lot of like writing and stuff.
Oh yeah, I
and then
think I
just,
heard
like,
you talking about
drawing
that.
and shit. Yeah. Yeah. So I've just been like drawing characters and like learning how to animate and
That shit's
and it's
tedious,
fucking
right?
fun. Yeah. Yeah,
But
it
now,
is.
it's a good time to start doing that type of shit. You're already stuck inside it anyway.
Right. And it is like great. It keeps like I mean that's the other weird thing is that like it's been so long just from like doing stand up and shit. It's like it's been so long since I've been on like anything like a normal human schedule, you know? Well, like there was
Yeah.
no possibility of me like getting up early in the morning and then like going to bed at a decent hour, you know? It's like I've been going to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning for years. So it's like now I'm like kind of on a routine where it's like I get up at like pretty early. I get up at like 7 and then just like I'll fucking try to like write episodes and do all that shit. And then like once I kind of hit a wall with that, I'll just go into like animating and I'll just like listen to a podcast or music. And like a lot of it has just been like drawing different mouths.
Oh
People talking, you know?
Yeah,
so it's like
'cause
you
you
draw
have
like
to-
80 different mouths. Yeah.
Whoa, that's what. Are you a good drawer? Or are you?
No. I literally cannot draw, but I can draw like inside of Photoshop. Like I can make like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say mouths.
yeah.
I'm really good.
I can make like shapes and shit.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. So that's fun. It's fun to like have it come together. And I've built like 2.5 characters at this point. And then like, yeah, so I'm like slowly getting to the phase where I'll start like recording the fucking voices and shit. But writing is also like it's a whole that's been its own like sort of like experiment. Cause I'm trying to just do something that's like a fucking crazy thing. I just want to build like a fun machine that I can fucking do anything with. And I haven't like, I don't know, my stand up can get a little like weird and wacky, but it's just like, this is sort of like a different thing.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a different level you can go with cartoons.
Yeah. Like I'm just like, I've been watching like a shit ton of like Life and Times of Tim. And I don't know if you guys ever watched that show or like, but just like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and like fucking Rick and Morty and like these shows where it's just like, well, seems like it'd be fun where they can just like fucking do anything. And
Yeah, and
Like,
that
I
that
kind of
is
want to do
sick.
something like that, but then it's like I don't want to rip those shows off, and that's its own like fucking
Yeah.
nightmare.
Well, it is crazy because that like creative flow state of your brain is one part of your brain, and then there's even more subsects of that where it's like there's the stand up creative, and then there's this like whole other part. So it is kind of cool to just like tap into that where you're not trying to write in like a joke structure per se. Like
Yeah,
it's way more. It feels way more like recess for the creative brain to just
Yeah,
open up all the possibilities.
less structure.
yeah, but it's also like that becomes its own sort of like night. I mean, just even like coming up with characters, like the show is literally it's like a dude, a penguin, and a wizard. Like,
Great combo.
yeah, and that's like that was like okay, whatever, that'll just be that, and then but just like figuring out what the characters are going to be, like pulling, I don't know, it's like what parts do I want to play with becomes its own like difficult thing to figure out, and then like yeah, the right, like, because I don't know, I've been like sitting down, I'll start like writing, and then every scene starts to feel like this, just like a three-way conversation with myself. You know what I mean?
Oh
Instead of
yeah.
having like and figure like trying to like get those characters more like clearly defined. Has
Right.
been, like, just a process.
That's got to be interesting too, writing in voices other than your own.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm not like a Nick Kroll person. Like I don't just like have characters like I don't have like a backlog of characters that I'm just like, so that's just sort of inventing. And when we like made that other show, when we made Tires, like, we were all sort of versions of ourselves. So you sort of had these like foundations to write from.
Right.
Whereas this is like, these people can be anything, and deciding what that is becomes difficult. It's like, which type of ridiculous character do I want, and how will that be useful to me as a tool going forward?
Yeah, it's interesting because you really are kind of like playing God in a weird way. Like you're deciding all like their idiosyncrasies. Like with Tires, like you probably had your own idiosyncrasies already, just like these weird ways you talk, but you're deciding every single thing about these characters. And that's got to be a weird thing to judge which attributes to put to which character, and even like the small shit that makes them funny besides what they're saying and all that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like drawing these characters. It's like it takes so long to like, I drew like 100 different versions of a penguin till I got to one that I was like, this guy looks funny. This guy like looks like a penguin and also looks funny, I think, and that's good.
Yeah.
Doing that is like it's a whole rigmarole. And then it's like, I don't, I'm going to try to, I've been like, that's the other thing. I've been slowly going insane. I'm like trying to do voices around the house. I'm like practicing fucking voices and shit. And it's like, I can't do voices. Everything. It's just every voice I do sounds like me doing a voice. It doesn't sound like, sound at all like independent. It's just like, is this O'Connor doing a scratchy voice or something? It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it is fun, and it is like something to fucking do that's not like jerking off or drinking.
True.
It's a good break from that stuff.
It is kind of cool going into that like animation process. I always wonder why people make certain choices, like with Rick and Morty. Just kind of what I was saying before, like with the stuff that they do that's funny outside of the actual dialogue. Yeah. Like why they chose to like make him burp like before a word, and that even just like the way he moves his arms and shit like that. It's and like developing the whole world of like how their faces look, like how like does a nose look in this world.
Totally.
It's crazy that like even when they get the character and they're like making the pilot, it's always that's not how the character is gonna fall. It's the character's never exactly like they are in the first season. Eventually they find out like what's working, and then they start becoming that more and like there's a difference between Rick in the very beginning of season 1 and then like 3 seasons later.
Yeah,
like a different, he's like
yeah,
changed character. They figure out what's working.
yeah. They like dial him in more. Yeah,
Because you
and
at
just the
some point,
writing is much tighter. It's like
yeah.
because they realize what their fans are into, so they're able to hone more into onto that way. Like, you know, 'cause you need someone to see it at some point
Yeah.
for you to
And
process.
you can always tell when like that the first season went well, and then they decided to put more money into it.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's funny. I've been listening to like a conversation, Dan Harmon talking about talking about writing Rick and Morty. I've been just reading about writing and like watching shit on writing and like, which is, you know, it's fucking whatever. But he did say like something interesting just about like, I think between the second and third season, just because it took like a year and a half or 2 years to make. I think it took 2 years between season 2 and 3. And he was just saying that it's like you get caught in these like in just these loops where you're like you know, you start writing a script and then like sort of like trying too hard, and then you're like, oh, like well, like let's just fucking, why are we trying so hard? Like, we just made this thing to be fun. Let's just have fun. You know, let's just go back to making about farts. You know, let's just make this show about farts. Let's just have fun. But then it's like, then you're in this weird place where you're like, farts aren't fun anymore because you're sort of forcing yourself back into like just having fun with farts. And you're like, I don't know, was the show ever about farts? And what the fuck are we like? Like, you're just going through this crazy just
like a
ride
weird
of like,
purgatory. You're in like a weird purgatory level of like, I don't know which direction to go.
right. Like, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you do it.
Oh no. I just always notice with something creative, it always sucks when you want it, it doesn't come to you. Like no one ever wrote like something sick because they're like, they sat down and like, all right, the genius will commence.
Time to
yeah. Well, that's the other sick. That's another like little tidbit that that I found interesting is just like, yeah, you don't like most of the shit that you watch because it's feels like it's better than something you could have made. Mm-hmm. Right? You're like, oh, they're making jokes or having ideas in the show that you're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. So it becomes, you're like, most of the time you're not going to watch something that you're like, I could have thought of that.
Right.
You're going to like enjoy that and keep watching it. So then when you like sit down to write something, you keep trying to have ideas that you wouldn't have thought of because that's the shit you like.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and then
you're in this trap where it's like everything that comes out of you is going to be something you thought of, which is going to be, you're going to be like, well, that sucks because I fucking could think of that.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, this trap. Yeah.
You kind of like need something you wouldn't have thought of to help you think of something you wouldn't have thought of. Like,
yeah.
Like a lot of like my favorite jokes, like personally, are always from like a conversation where it went down a road that I didn't expect, and then I wrote something I didn't expect.
Right.
Yeah.
You like found something out about yourself that you didn't even know because you're just like you're like in alien territory, but that's like so hard to get to, you know?
Yeah.
You just kind of wander around and just stumble and just know. I was talking about this with Steve Carr yesterday. We were talking about how like when you get that level of frustration, like you don't have a good idea, you haven't had a good idea in a while, and you haven't like wrote a good joke or something in a little bit, and all of a sudden you start getting like anxious about it, and then it won't happen right away. But like a few days later, all of a sudden you'll like kind of relax about it, and then you'll think of something good. I think that's like that initial feeling. You start pay attention more to like interesting thoughts that you have, and then you finally pick one out. When you're like just enjoying it, not really looking for it, then they just kind of like, you have a good thought and you just kind of keep living without like stopping, pausing, and dissecting whatever it was that happened.
Yeah, totally. You allow something to just like bounce off you and be funny, as opposed to like having an idea where you're like, what is humor anyway? I don't even know what is funny. There's nothing funny about this existence.
Right.
We're all fucked. This is stupid. Like you just like, And who
When
do
you're
I
in-
think I am? I'm making like a joke. What do I think I can make jokes?
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna write a joke. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then
seems
that's when
like
you start.
oh, sorry.
That's when you start tackling your ideas that come up in your own head. Like, are you a fucking joke, dude? Are you the joke? And you're like, nah, you're not a joke. You're like, what about you? Were you a fucking joke, dude? Like each thought that you have,
yeah.
you're like, and that's when you come up with like a real shitty joke. You're like, I need one of these that's gonna be a fucking joke.
Yeah. Well,
That's it. You're
Gotta
a
keep-
joke now. Come on.
yeah. Just drag a joke out to be executed.
Yeah,
seems
you're
like,
you're going to see a fucking. Just hold
Yeah.
joke.
it seems like
You
life
want to
is
see your
finding
joke
the,
never get used again?
Yeah, I'm fucking killing
I'll
him.
take you on stage right now.
He's done, all right? You'll never be fucking spoken again. And all the other jokes are like, fine, we'll be funny, we'll have tags, we'll punch real hard, dude. We're
Right.
sorry.
it seems like everything is just finding a balance, a right balance of intentional. Like
Explore that. Yeah.
I try to I'm trying to find the level of intentional that serves like the creative process. So I'm like, all right, it's intentional that I'm sitting down and ready to write, and it's intentional that like I want to keep going up, but also I can't intentionally be authentic in a weird way. Like
No.
you just have to be authentic, but like you can intentionally be ready for that authentic thing to come along, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like laying groundwork for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I'm like slowly starting to realize, because it's like the first draft of anything that I write is straight up like porn dialogue. Like there's like no subtext. There's nothing interesting about the it's literally people being like, I feel blah, and then someone's like, well, I got this to say, and there's nothing like.
You're my
There's
step
nothing that-
wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You remember when we met back, like it's like the worst exposition in the world. But I think it's like you do like lay down sort of you have like a skeleton. So then which you build with sort of like intention. And then when you have those moments of like authentic like feelings, like emotions, that's when it's good to like go back to something like that and then map that shit on.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Kind of
saying?
gotta
It's
let
like-
it. You gotta kind of let it simmer there for a little bit for you to get the. Like you can't just go out and write a show all in one. That you need other thoughts to come back and stuff that you haven't
it's-
thought of in a while, and just let life experience influence certain shit that happens.
Yeah,
Well-
it's like when you like, I don't know. That's the nice part. If you're doing stand up like regularly, I think, you're obviously writing so many jokes that suck. And then a lot of times, a moment of like sort of genuine inspiration or like feeling or whatever will help you connect the dots between two jokes that weren't working. And then like
Right.
you sort of like, now you actually have something.
Yeah, you wed them together.
But if you had never put the like the shitty, exhausting work into just coming up with these two bad ideas, this emotional component never would have done anything for you.
Yeah. And it also seems
You know
like
what I mean?
everything that's
Happens with-
super dope, like never happens just when someone's doing it by themselves. Like all like the best shows, best movies, there's always a writer's room where you can like bounce ideas, see if they laugh at it, and then they might respond to your idea in an angle you never thought of. And then also too, even though people write stand-up alone, it still in a way isn't alone, because you try something and then you get that feedback from the audience, and then you correct from there, or not correct. So it seems like it's never really like a solo process, no matter what it is.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Stand up is not at all a solo process. Yeah. You are getting a it's not specific, detailed feedback necessarily.
It's like a weird
But it is-
cryptic message. Like
yeah.
They just like, not gonna tell you straight up, but I kind of giggled, and that guy got real pissed off. So I don't know what you want to
Yeah,
use with that
figure it out.
information. Yeah, so
Right,
you might want
right.
to change some shit because that guy's real mad. and I giggled a little bit. So there's something there. But that got pissed.
Somewhere between these two people, there's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Do you have anyone that you're like bouncing ideas off of, or just like looking for feedback from, like doing stand up or like the show you're working on?
Yeah, I sent some of those like scripts out. Like I kind of did a thing where I just like I wrote 2 scripts and then like a scene, and I like that were totally not ready to be shared with anybody, and I just sent them to a couple friends, and they were like, yeah, okay, and yeah, I think sometimes I do that where it's just like it took so much effort to just get those 2 things to just get started, and I just needed to like send something out into the world.
Right.
So I just like it was almost like yeah.
It's almost like you get like you like it helps you push yourself because like all right, now they know this exists, that I'm working on this, so I have to keep working on this. Or they're like, what? Do you fucking give up?
Yeah. It's also like it's kind of like I think that was because my work ethic is kind of shitty, so it was nice to like what's nice about stand up. Yeah, well, it's nice. What's nice about stand up is that like regardless of where your jokes are at, you have to like get up on stage that night and do it. Especially when you're like just starting out, you're just like, well, I signed up to go up, and I just have to go with whatever I have. It's like you matter how like broken or fucked up this thing is. I just got to go out and do it. So it's like I think I was like trying to like create a version of that where it's just like doesn't matter what state this is. I just like I need to like put this out so I don't walk away from it.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, because I do feel like it's all part of the writing process. What's your like approach to giving and receiving criticism? Do you like to give it more blunt and receive it more sugar-coated, or vice versa, or you know what I mean? Because I feel like there is an art to telling a friend that their joke isn't good, but there can still be more to it, and also how you can receive criticism if they're just like super blunt about it. You can receive that in a total way that doesn't even have use anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think I'm great at receiving criticism.
Yeah.
I think, I've never been someone who stand-up wise was like tried to like workshop jokes with people.
Okay.
I think I was always just kind of, I don't know. I think
I do. I'm with you on that. I don't like saying stuff before I do it on stage.
Yeah. For some reason,
people's vibes will like get entangled in how I said it, and they're like, "I tried. It would have been funny if I just said it on stage." I fucking know. Now you've ruined it.
Yeah, like if you just for some reason if you try something with someone in person, yeah, it's like it gets infected by whatever their reaction was to it.
Right.
And then for some reason the stakes change when you like get on stage.
Especially if they're there to see you do it.
Totally. Where they're like,
they're
you already saw this fail in front of me.
Yeah. It's like, why did you do that? Yeah. Like, fuck, damn, you were right, I guess. So I was like, no, I was in my own head now because I don't want you to be right. Now it's turned into a competition for some reason.
And you wind up quitting on it sooner if they're there, because you're like...
Right, because you're like, two people decided this. It's more weighed in.
Right.
Well, how do you give criticism? What's like your style?
Dog. Oh, God.
Because I know some people will be like, all right, this was great, but this wasn't as much, but this is great, like a sandwich.
Yeah, you compliment sandwich. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any like particular like strategy. I try to be like, I think in general try to like encourage people to keep doing the thing that they're doing.
Yeah. Does it depend how close you are with that person?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're close enough with someone, you've had a couple of those conversations, and so you've got like history to draw from. So I don't know, and it's easier to just be like, I don't see where the joke is, or like I just don't. I think that's a lot of times too, with like the where my jokes come from start in such a weird place. Like I always feel like they start in a much different place than where other people's jokes start from. And I haven't figured out like when a thing is ready to like share.
Yeah.
Like I haven't figured out a space where something is both built out enough to share with someone and yet not ready enough to bring on stage.
Right. Like it's kind of like
always,
cooking a grenade. You're like, I don't know, should I throw it yet? I don't want him to pick it up, throw it back at me.
yeah.
And then you hold it too long and you're like, fuck, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, is there so that kind of makes me curious about validation. So, if anyone's listening to this who doesn't know, like Chris has been opening up for Andrew Santino and like on the road and shit, which is fucking dope.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome when it was happening.
Yeah. But like doing that, like him taking you out on the road, or maybe after you do a set, he might give you like a compliment, or maybe even give you something you're gonna fix. Is anything external from someone that's higher level than you, does that have like a huge effect on you, good or bad?
Yeah, I mean it has like a big positive effect on me for sure. It is nice to like finally get there, but you know, it's like we were talking about before, the way humans are, it's just you never feel comfortable.
True.
You never feel like, oh, I finally made it. Like I've passed through some membrane.
You didn't have like a 2-day period where you're like, fuck yeah, dude.
No. I mean, it's like anytime I was doing shows that went well, I was like, this is fucking awesome, you know?
Right.
And obviously, like, you know.
Yeah, but you're looking to get to that next, you're looking to be the next part. Yeah, you always got to keep your.
Yeah, and in all of those things are still present, like those feelings of like, have I written something new? You know, like how, like there's, I don't know, you get to that place where it really starts to feel like it's becoming like a real career.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I need to like up my game even more. Like I need to be churning out material at like a faster rate. Like this isn't, you know.
Right.
Well,
like you see all the greats and they're pumping out something once a year. And you're like, I got to be on that level? Fuck.
Yeah, and then it's like, you know, he's seen me do, you know, I've done like a bunch of weekends with him, and you start going like, well, if he doesn't see me writing new stuff and progressing, is he going to start to think that like I'm actually like a fraud or something, you know? And that obviously, right. I don't think he's thinking that at all, but it's like, you start doing that shit to yourself where you're like, am I really good at this? Or did I just have like 30 minutes worth of good ideas and now
I'm tapped out.
Yeah. Now I'm never going to have a good idea again. And like, what a time for that to happen, right? When everything's starting to like work out for me, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I'm also interested in like how sturdy the belief in yourself is. Like if you're opening from, you know, in whatever city it is, and you fucking like, let's just say like, objectively you demolished, like fucking crushed it, but then you went backstage and then Andrew said something was hack. Would that like shake your whole belief in your stand-up?
I mean, it would.
Or would you be like, I fucking quit, dude?
No, it would fuck me up. But I like. I don't know. I think I'm pretty honest with myself about that kind of shit. I think like, and my relationship with him is pretty good.
Yeah.
So like, if he were to be like, that's hack, it would probably be something that I knew was hack. And I'd be like, yeah, I know, but it's bridging this thing from here to here, and I'll figure out some other way to do it. But for now, that's just going to be how I get from point A to point B or something, you know?
Fair enough. It seems like in this whole pursuit, there is like a balance of channeling out the contrary to what you're doing. Because I don't know if you experienced this, but like even just the act of like pursuing stand-up, there's going to be maybe people in your family or friends and stuff like that that think that's dumb, but there is a certain level of you that has to channel that out and be like, no, I think there's something here. I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm curious about the like what to decipher what's bullshit contrary and what's like contrary you should listen to.
What do you mean? What do you mean? So like,
sorry, I probably worded
I don't know
that
exactly
shitty.
what you're asking, but I this is the question. I'm going to pretend the question that you asked was
I can reword it.
this one.
I got all the time in the world, baby.
Well, I have a thing where I'm like, you're trying to, you're trying to come up with like a unique take and a unique perspective on something. And you go onto the internet and there's just like, there's every side of every issue. And you're just like, what even is hack? There's such a vast, deep well of every possible opinion online that you're like, I don't know. It figuring out like what is the like subversive sort of thing to say can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And like kind of what I was wondering is to even do this and even like, you know, get to the point where you're at, where you're fucking opening for a goddamn like beast, Andrew Santino. And I'm sure there was a lot of opinions that if you didn't filter it the right way would have made you doubt yourself. So how do you decipher the shit that would make you doubt yourself and the shit that would make you change? You know what I mean? That I hope that's worded better. I feel like I just worded that just as shitty.
I'm not sure what you're like trying to.
I guess like for me, like I have a hard time deciphering through criticism what's valid and what's not.
Yeah. So it's like if someone was like, "That's hack." Like, how do you know when something like is good feedback to take on board and modify and move forward, and when you just go, "Fuck that guy, he's a fucking idiot."
Yes. Yeah.
Well worded.
Dude, I don't. I don't.
How did you decipher that? I was like, what the fuck? I got lost in the sauce, dude.
Sorry.
It's all right, dude.
I don't know. I don't think that. I think that's one of those things that's just sort of like day to day. You know, you have days where you're pretty sure of what you're doing, and you have days where you're like, oh, maybe I am a hack. Maybe I am a fraud and this is all bullshit. You know, I think you always experience that oscillation. It's the same thing with, you know, it's like you have a couple good ideas or you get a new joke that works and you feel like, I mean, I could do this forever. Like, this is so amazing. I love doing this. And like, I'm good at comedy. And then you don't have a good idea for, you know, a month or two. And you're like, I don't think I should have ever started trying to do this. This is the biggest fucking waste of time on earth. And like, this is embarrassing that I'm trying. Like everyone is thinking about how embarrassing this attempt even is, you know, like,
like anyone anyone's thinking about you at all. Like they're just looking at me, shaking their heads going, you shouldn't have even tried, dude.
Yeah.
And like, will there be anything specific that'll send you into that way of thinking of it's embarrassing? Like, is it like you'll bomb once and then you'll be like, I'm a hack, and then start believe that, and then you do a good show and then you're like, all right, I'm good at comedy? Or is it just strictly internal thoughts that make you think that, or both?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to get off sort of that treadmill. I think you can mitigate some of the amount of harm that you do to yourself by like beating yourself up over some shit that you know. I think by like, I don't know, living like a healthy lifestyle and doing like meditation and like exercise and that shit, I think you can help mitigate some of the deep valleys that you go into. But I still think that you're always going to feel like that something, if you're working hard on it, you're always going to feel like there's some deficiency in your game. I mean, like I think even people that get massively successful, you know, and then they start having nothing but like their own audiences like in front of them and they're selling out. It's like, well, this is like the coolest, biggest, best thing that ever happened. But then you start going like, are these jokes good, or am I just like catering to my audience? Am I still saying the things that I believe or am I pandering now? You know, like who's driving the train? I think it's like there's an infinite number of ways that you can sort of like lose yourself in this in sort of this progression. And like, yeah, there's going to be times where you ask yourself, yeah, do I suck? And am I like, have any of these ideas been my own? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I think I've been really interested in the idea of like the pursuit of doing stand-up. The success of it is so contingent on external validation. It's either like you make people laugh or you don't, or, you know, this is probably like an early on in comedy problem, but it's either like comics like you and want to put you on shows or they don't. So you're kind of chasing this external validation, but then also you have to compartmentalize that into being like, all right, well, if all this fails, I still have this internal validation where I'm worth it. But it's like, it's weird. I'm probably projecting on this podcast, but
no. I mean, look, this is something that's like, again, this is sort of like a universal human quality. I mean, that's why you like stories where someone like believed in themselves in the face of everyone telling them that they sucked or their idea was shit. Like,
yeah,
because it's, you know, everyone's jealous of having like an internal compass that's that strong. But at the same time, it's like, we've all seen like the people who are just like purely delusional, you know, at the mics.
It's a constant question in my head. Am I that person? I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't think that ever stops, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's like, again, even if you become famous, you'll be, you know, I'm sure you'll have all those stresses about like, am I like a flash in the pan guy? Am I just like this, like, you know, the one hit wonder kind of person? Or am I just this like weird, quirky person that's going to be on TV for 3 years and then like never heard from or spoken to again? You know, like there's so many different ways in which to fail or feel sad about what you're doing. Yeah. That it like, yeah, I think as far as the internal compass goes, it's like, yeah, you got to keep just writing the things that you think are funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what makes you laugh, and just try to pursue that as much as possible. I mean, that's also like something that making this cartoon has been like kind of fun. It does feel like, because I like loved cartoons and stuff when I was a kid, and I like love like silly voices and shit. Like, I don't know, there's just like, there is like a whole thing that I want to like kind of get back to by doing this, which is just like, yeah, I don't know, having like all the cartoons that I enjoyed as a kid and even as like an adult, and what I found funny about that, like, I want to like explore that a little bit. I don't know. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I've answered or moved the conversation forward at all there, but
no, you did.
Yeah.
Because this has been stuff I've been personally thinking about, and recently I've been like putting out some like skits and like segments and shit like that, and I noticed there's two different parts of that process where I'm in the flow state and I'm having a lot of fun with it and like creating it, and then there's a whole nother part to it that brings out another side of my personality, is when I put it out.
Yeah.
And it's and I've been trying to just be like, all right, well, regardless of what happens when I put it out, I had like a ton of value in making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, look, that's the this is another fucking thing that I heard, but it's like I don't know, like most I guess like spider webs or whatever, they're like I think apparently most spider webs are just like, if you walk through a spider web, it's just like been like abandoned by the spider.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like spiders are most of their day is just like trying out a web and like seeing if it fucking works. And they're just like, ah, fuck, I didn't catch anything. And they like move on to something else. You know, they're just like making fucking webs all the time.
Right.
You
Until
know?
they find one right by a light and they're like, this is a good idea. The lights are where it's at. Go to the
Right.
Because that's where all the flies are.
And I think like you can get sort of bogged down in the like the outcome instead of just being like, let me just keep making things and like trust that I will get better at it. It's like I think that's where I'm at with this this cartoon. It's just like, look, I think the first version of this that I make is gonna fucking suck. And it's like, all right, well, that's whatever. I just want to keep making it better, you know? And I hopefully like my writing gets better. And I have started to get into a place where it's like, I started to get anxiety about not like writing, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Like I like sitting down and like, it's like filling a need in the same way that like having anxiety at the end of the day and wanting to like just have beers or fucking smoke a cigarette or something. It's like I'm getting the same feeling from it, which is nice. And it's that would be nice to continue to just be churning stuff out, you know, and just have a backlog of shit that I can reference and use, like I said, just in case, I don't know, like genuine inspiration comes along and I can really like amplify something that was maybe a little weak on the page before. But it's also a thing where it's like I'm back into, it's like fucking open mic territory again a little bit, where you're just like, am I any good at this? Can I even pull this off? Should I be doing this? What if I do it and everyone hates me? Is that possible?
Right.
You
like
know,
it's
like,
so far
like
away from like how you are in stand up, and then it's like you make a cartoon like, the hell? Why is he opening up for Andrew? It's just like, I'm starting from square one.
And yeah, it's like you also get that same thing where it's like with stand up, you know, if you can suck for a while and nobody cares. Yeah. But the moment you start getting good, people are like, oh, this is good. And they're like, and all of their past sins are sort of like washed away. You know, right. It's like if you're crushing, nobody would care that you sucked a week ago.
And I also think like the better you get, the less people bring their standards onto you. Like if you're just like an open micer, people are more likely to be like, well, you know, I probably would have done the same thing. But if you reach this level, then they're done reaching or like giving you normal people standards. Yeah. And
they're like, yeah, who the fuck are you? I guess that I maybe am battling that a little bit. I'm not even like at a level where anyone should still even give a shit, but there is a little bit of a piece of me that's like, oh, if I make this thing and it sucks, people will be like, who did you think you are?
Right.
Trying to make this thing. And that's another, like, as far as like the like getting back to being a little kid thing, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't want to, I would like to get to, with this, I'd like to be in a place where I just really don't give a fuck what people think, and I'm just making something that I like.
Yeah.
And if it, you know, if that doesn't work out, then I'll go back to the drawing board. But yeah.
Fuck yeah. Dude, I mean, we're at Cody, did you have anything else you wanted to ask or anything like that?
Nah, dude. I think
we
covered just about everything. I moved over here. My phone's dying.
I
got to unplug. That's so annoying, dude. They have the fucking hatch is the same thing for the microphone. So I've just been. Do I sound like shit?
No, you sound fine.
Okay,
yeah. Well, we're at a little over an hour and a half. So I think I think that's sick, dude. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Anything plug, dude?
Yeah, just listen to fucking Contact with Chris O'Connor. I got like a Patreon up too, so if if you feel like donating to that, and I'll be releasing like this show on that Patreon too. So, and hopefully I'll have something out in the next like week or so. So, Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's like, yeah, no stand-up dates coming up. maybe in October.
Yeah.
Do you have any like social media people should follow for
Oh, yeah, you
when
can-
dates do come up?
You can follow me on Twitter at a Chris O'Connor, and same thing with Instagram. ChrisOconnor. So yeah,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
bro.
it.
Cody,
Rob?
what about you? No?
Right. Cody, I think Instagram. Yeah, Cody. That's it.
Hell
That's all I
yeah.
got.
Cool.
Yeah. And follow me at Rob Cruz Comedy. Just put out a new segment called Attention Horse, where I just talk bullshit for like a minute or so. And
yeah.
that's basically it. But Chris, thanks again, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. And shout out to the real ones.
This has been a DropTent Media production.